Sha Rock is going to be calling in from the Funky 4+1. I got to give special thanks to Paradox for hooking up Sha Rock building. Paradox is in the building.
Paradox.
Charlie Chase is in the building.
Chase.
What's up, Concept? What's up? Hey, Nick, hold your spot. Interrupt anytime you do. That's what real MCs who hold it down, especially you being on the radio station, do. That means you're secure with yourself. Nick, I love you back, y'all. You got Paradox, Concept, Nick, all of y'all just hold.
First female MC, right from the Bronx.
Don't believe nothing nobody else tells you.
That's right.
Don't believe nothing anybody else tell you. It's true.
That's right.
Documented, not just still camera, but actually film footage, whatever. And I don't get it. And you know, back in the days, we all had love for hip-hop.
That's
right.
That's right.
Hip-hop and what hip-hop meant, and we all respected each other.
That's
now,
right. That's right.
If you was a female that went out there, and I'm speaking from a woman that's as March, this is Women's History Month, and I'm glad that y'all having me on the show. But the thing is that if you was a woman and you disrespected yourself for me, Charlie, you know, I was never really up in no guy's face because my thing is that I was more focused on my MCing skills and be able to deal with the fellas at that time because, you know, Charlie, unlike, nowadays, for me, they didn't look at me as a female MC. They most of the guys looked at me as a equal MC.
Damn straight.
Like, a lot of people now, they'll say, well, Sha Rock is the first female MC, but that wasn't how it was back in the days. They was just saying that Sha Rock was a dope MC. It wasn't a female, it was a dope MC because I was able to be able to, you know, be on the same, honest with you. And I'll say this, other groups begin to start getting female MC. And so the thing is that they didn't come out and say, I want to battle you, I want to battle you. It's like, and Charlie, I think you're aware of this, it's like Queen Lisa Lee from the Zulu Nation.
Yeah.
But we have a tape that's going back and forth, back and forth. It wasn't a battle. I know that people wanted it to be like that.
They just
hyping
it up.
Lisa went back and forth, and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. What it did was it made us become closer, and it made us have a better bond for each other and more respect for each other. But the thing is that Sha Rock was the first female MC. After that, you had so many different other groups that were trying to incorporate female MC. So no, from my era, and I'm talking about the 70s, not the 80s.
That's right.
Yeah. No females, and so a lot of people like to get it twisted. They like to say, okay, Sha Rock and the Funky Four, you know, they from the 80s.
Nope.
Nah, we from the 70s. The groundbreaking years of hip-hop, that's where I'm from. I'm from the 70s. And so even before we did record deals, even before the Sugar Hill Gang, or even before Curtis Blow, and there's no disrespect to nobody, Sha Rock, and I have to big up my crew, the Funky 4+1. We were rocking on the streets before we even had a record deal. So we had the bona fide, we were bona fide MCs before we even had a record deal. We had secured our status in the hip-hop culture even before we had a record deal.
That's
and that's like playing in the streets, you know, and all of that stuff. So when we talk about the 70s and the females wanting to battle, you know, and I talk about this in my book, Luminary Icon. Of course, you know, anybody want to be able to be out there with the female because, that they thought was bad, so they thought that they could get a rep from. But I think when you talk about it, every female that came after me, we all had respect for each other. Now, when you went on that microphone, you know, the respect came on the stage. No, we didn't call each other out of their names. Out of our names, you know, the B's and the hoes and all of this, because you didn't have to. What you did was you let your skills speak for it all, and you let the crowd decide. And so that's what we did as females, you know, as females back then. And so if they did, you know, want to battle, they did it secretly, because when we confronted each other, we were out there. We just went for skills and out. That was it.
Hey, Sha Rock.
And my crew, the Funky. Yes, sir.
This is Docs. I remember you. I remember you in the Valley. It had to be 77 or 78. Yes.
Also,
and you was by yourself, and you was rhyming by yourself. You didn't have a crew, and you was in the Valley, and you was going, "What's my name?" 200-300 people saying, "Sha Rock, what's my name?" Sha Rock. I was probably about 14 years old or something. You know, and you wasn't a female MC to me. You was an MC. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I'm glad you're telling that story. And I'm glad you tell the story. Because, see, me, I don't forget history. And I don't forget the culture of hip-hop. And people ask me, okay, so why, you know, and it's no disrespect to nobody else, you know, and I talk about this in my book. You know, I thought that people knew who was the first female MC or who was the first oncoming female MCs that started the culture. But as I started talking to young kids and, you know, going around and doing mentoring, I found out that they didn't know. They didn't even know that a Sha Rock exists. And I wasn't mad at them because, you know, the people that had the power, and there's a lot of people, you know, that's out there that knew the story, you know, that's in power today that knew the story but wasn't willing to tell the story. And that's why I give props to people like, you know, Charlie, you know, and I give props to you, Docs and Concept, for you bringing it forward. And I give props to people also like DMC or Run, because let me tell you, it takes a lot. It takes a lot from them, you know, and for yourself, especially being men, to come out and say, okay, well, Sha Rock, I was influenced, not by, you know, just the, but to say that you were influenced by a female. You
influenced me. Damn straight, you influenced
me. You know what? And I'm honored, and you don't understand how much, because that takes a lot for somebody of your status, you know, or somebody of DMC or running them status to say that I influenced them. So what does that do? That said, okay, Sha Rock wasn't only legendary to females, but to fellas as well.
Damn straight.
And not trying to be big-headed or not trying to be cocky with it, but I tell that story, and I'm honored because it takes a lot for a dude nowadays to say that a female influenced them. They can say, yeah, okay, I like this female and I like this female and this female got skills. But to actually say that a female influenced them, to me, that holds a lot of weight.
Yeah, it's the truth, though.
And I'm humble behind it.
Because I saw you, and I used to go by the name Spike LaRock. Remember back in the day, Spike LaRock, T LaRock.
Okay, that was. You didn't change your name.
Yeah, I had to change my name.
There was a whole bunch of LaRocks back then.
Yeah, there was a bunch of LaRocks back then.
And LaRock.
You know, yeah, T LaRock and all of that. Scott LaRock. Yeah. So, you know, I was with Zulu Chapter 11 in Edenwall. And that's how I used.
You know, that was my stumping ground.
Yeah,
that was my stumping ground.
I used to hang out over there with Tricky T and all of them. And when
of course, Tricky T was my brother. He was like my brother.
Yeah. So you know, when I did the Zulu anniversary, I saw Trick. I saw a few of the old Zulus. Squig, you remember Squig? Squiggly?
Yeah, I remember Squig.
Yeah, I saw Squig, and you know, I was hanging with Lucky, and you know, we had a blast at that.
You remember Iron Mike?
Yes.
You remember Iron Mike?
Yes.
He was from 229. So he was my security. Mostly everybody that was in Edenwall was my security. The fellas was a part of the Brothers Disco, so they was the security on the good side.
Yeah.
You know, protected the Funky Four. You know, hooked up the speakers and all of that other stuff. You know, and
Zulus was different back then than it is now. I try to tell people. I said, no, it's not.
Okay, so let me ask you this: what's the difference? What is the difference that you feel about the Zulus?
Before we didn't have, there wasn't bylaws. We came off a gang from being gang members into being crews.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So you know, we went from gangs to being crews. So the transition was just, we were still wild. You know what I'm saying? You know, we used to fist fight as Zulus against the 9 crew and the Casanovas. And this is.
Now, see, you know, I was a B girl. I was out there breaking on. I started breaking on the 9. You know, or going out on the 9 with, you know, with the and I don't want to sound this, but you know, you remember the nigga twins used to live out there.
Yeah, I remember the twins. That's right. Yeah, the twins. Because I started as a B-boy too. I was a breaker before I was an MC.
If you was an MC and you was on from the onset, you started. Anybody that was out back then, they started as a B-boy or B-girl.
Damn straight.
Moved on to MC. So, and if you're not claiming it, that means that you didn't do it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but I've always claimed the B-girl.
And we never used to use a cardboard on the floor. It was on straight concrete.
Oh, yeah, man.
You're going to make some people mad.
Yeah, I don't care. It's true, though.
Yeah,
it was straight elbow rocking and all of that.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm old school and I don't care. You know?
Yeah, but which is true, though. Which is true. Exactly, which is true. And that's why I say, you know, Paradox, the thing is that, you know, I embrace all aspects of the culture. You know, so a lot of people like to say, well, what do you feel about the state of hip-hop, you know? And I don't know, you know, if they really get it or they want to get it, but, you know, rap is just an element of hip-hop.
Yeah, one element.
I embrace all elements of hip hop, from the DJing skills to the b-boy skills to the beat. And that's what I like about places like Florida or places like Washington, where you keep it alive. You understand what I'm saying? And you have, you have New York, but I go to the places and I see, or Japan or Europe. It's like the culture, and I'm not just talking about rap, but they respect the culture more than American.
Of course, because we commercialized it. We bottle rap up. You know what I'm saying? We put it.
You say what?
We put it in a bottle. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and then I don't hate on them, because I was like, how could you be mad at somebody or... Hello?
Yeah, you on that? We're listening to you.
How could you be mad at them? But they don't know. They don't know. They have not been introduced to it. They don't know. And so you can't get mad. You can't get mad. You can only keep doing what you're doing in your radio station. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just keep doing what you're doing in your radio station and informing them and enlightening them on all different aspects of music, not just what's in heavy rotation. But you introduce them to things to some type of music, and I don't want to say like hip hop music, but those beats, those things that they don't hear every day, to make them, just say, gravitate towards it. Okay, is this what hip hop built on? Is this what the culture built on? This type of music, and then when y'all play music like that, it sort of gives them a balance of deciding on where. Or what stations they want to listen to.
Yeah.
Same old stuff.
There's a lot of young, so it's a good thing.
And the art of b-boiling and b-girling, I mean, they master it. They master it because they respect it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not to say that the people, in the states don't, because you have your underground, areas, in cities and states that really like keeping it alive and passing it on, to their kids and all that stuff. And I think that's what it's about.
Yeah.
For us to be able to enlighten them on what we experienced as kids. I mean, the good part, because a nation was supposed to be built on peace, unity, and fun. You know what I'm saying? So yes, it rises from gangs and all of that stuff, but that was one of the things that Afrika Bambaataa tried to do. And I know he was a part of the black state.
That's
so
right.
in order for us to come together, just do it for the fun. He had to turn it around. And at the end, it had begun to start turning around. So, we went through our shootouts and running. People dodging bullets, whatever.
I was there.
Sha Rock, you are coming to Florida in May, right? You coming to Florida in May, right?
Yes, I am. Baby. I think in Miami, it's supposed to be some kind of expo thing down in Miami.
Yeah, I'll be seeing you down there.
They told me it's like the Zulu Nation anniversary, or it's big like that. But it's something in Miami.
Are we talking about not the Pro-Ams, right?
I think it's the Rocksteady.
The Pro-Ams, isn't it? Yeah, the Pro-Ams. That's Speedy Legs.
Yeah, that's it. What you said?
Yeah, that's the Pro-Am. I'm DJing for that too. You're gonna see me down there too, because I'm playing for that too.
Raheem is going down there.
I know Ra. Yeah, I know him.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but like from the Funky Four, well, first of all, the DJs were DJ Breakout and Baron, right?
Breakout.
Now,
there you go.
right.
Yes,
then like just to show you how many different groups were inspired, or other like two major groups were actually derived from the Funky 4+1 mode DJ and Breakout and Baron. Now, Tony Tone used to be the sound man for DJ Breakout and Baron, for them.
And my security. And the security. And he was my security as well.
That's right. Now, Tony Tone is my partner in the Cold Crush Brothers.
Yeah, I know, of course.
Tony Tone, Tony Tone, he's quiet, man, but he should get a lot more props than what he's given, because Tony Tone
he should.
Yeah, and Tony Tone was the one who, first of all, Tony Tone was responsible for the sound system that they had. Now, Breakout and Baron had a legendary sound system. Their sound system was no joke, and Tony was the man in charge.
We had the best in town.
Right,
We had the best sound system.
That's right, and Tony Tone and Breakout and Baron, they were the three that put that system together. That's number one. They had the top system. Tony Tone.
What's the name?
I was going to get to that now. Tony Tone got with me, and I was growing up, and I was too young, and a lot of people knew who I was, but Tony was the one who was responsible for introducing me to Bambaataa, introducing me to Flash, to Theodore, all the people who were already more established than I was at the time, right? Now, that's number two.
Exactly.
Number three is me and Tony formed the Cold Crush. Now, this is all deriving from the Funky Four. Now, another thing was Raheem was part of the Funky Four before it was a +1 more. Raheem was part of that group. Then he went with Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Now, that's big. If you really think about it, how all that came from the Funky Four. That's huge, man. You know what I'm saying?
Go back to it. A lot of people like to say, you know, they only look at me as a female as being the +1 more. But to iterate what you just said, Charlie, the thing was is that I was an original Funky Four.
That's right.
It was me, Raheem, Keke Rockwell, and Keith Keith. We were original Funky Four.
That's right.
That's when everybody tried to incorporate getting females a part of their crew, because Flash and them only had 3 MCs at one time, and they was the 3 MCs, and then Mr. Ness came along, and then when Mr. Ness came on, that was for them to form the I'm sorry, 4 MCs, like we had 4 MCs.
Right.
So then something happened with our group. Raheem left. Raheem became the 5th member. And then I came back to the Funky Four because I left when Raheem left too, and that's how we all had 5 MCs.
Right. They kind of they pigeonholed Sha Rock as the +1 more because she was the only girl in the group. Yeah. That was a record company thing. Right. That was a record company thing. They figured, oh, it's cute, let's make it that way. But Sha Rock was one of the original Funky Four.
45 King.
45
He was our record boy.
That's right. I forgot about that. That's right.
Yeah, he was the one that was passing Breakout the record.
I remember Breakout DJing in Olinville Park, 21, T Connection. Gee, I mean, you know, I went to Evander.
Yeah.
Now, Sha. So did I.
You went to Evander? Yeah, I went to Evander.
Yeah, I went to Evander. I went to Evander too.
Yeah.
Now, Sha, earlier
stories.
Now, earlier you were mentioning something about a book. Can you fill us in on that? What's happening with your book?
Yes. Okay, Luminary Icon, that's what I did. I wrote Luminary Icon, and Luminary, for people who don't know, means light. And so what I did was I wrote the book, and the reason why I wrote the book, because it had been many years, you know, of people, just flipping the story, because I had been over in Germany. I had gotten married, went over to Germany. My spouse at the time, you know, was in the military, and so we went overseas. And so when I got back, you know, I heard so many stories about who was first, and this happened, and that happened, and that happened. And because I wasn't talking, you know, people were running rampant, you know, just thinking, well, maybe, you know, because, and Charlie, you know, and Doc, you know, anybody that came back from the day and back in our era, the first thing is either that we are on crack or we all doped up, or we done got caught up in that drug scandal, you know, or whatever, that we just lost our mind and don't know what's going on or don't know what went on. And I can say that for me as a female, I've always wanted to be in control of what I did. So, yes, we all may at some time dibbled and dab with stuff that we weren't supposed to. But one thing I know for sure is that it was no way that I was going to not be in control of my image, of the respect that I wanted to get from people. So I didn't go that route. Right. And I remember every single thing that happened back then when I was growing up in the hip-hop culture, because it means so much to me. So they figure, like, if you're not saying nothing, you can, they can just say anything and throw it out there. And what I found out, and I talk about this in the book, I found out that, you know, these guys was coming over from Europe and buying all of this stuff and all these artifacts, and they was giving tens and thousands of money, you know what I'm saying, to all these people to put inside these museums. So people were selling their life away and selling this, and well, I'm this, and I'm that, and I'm this, and I'm that. But they weren't even out the Funky Four, or they weren't even out Sha Rock. It's like we didn't even exist. And Charlie and Paradox and Concept just sit here, and y'all hear all the things that the Funky Four and Sha Rock has did. And to even this day, a lot of people don't give us credit. Even for the ones that has been back there with us, won't do it.
Right.
And I was like, hey, look,
that's true. We do ourselves an injustice.
Y'all wrong for that.
Yeah,
you know
we do.
Y'all wrong for that.
That's true. We do ourselves an injustice by not passing on that information, you know, to the younger generation and stuff. Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of unsung.
So, do you speak about these things in the book?
Yeah, honey, I went in. I went in, and hell, I'm sorry, I went in, not to be disrespectful, but I felt like, you know, the book is not a long read. I got straight to the point because I wanted people to be able to remember. I wanted people to be able to gravitate and retrieve all the information that I put forth. so they will remember the history. So I named names, and I went in, and I said about my feelings of the culture and hip-hop and all of that stuff and things that we had been dealing with throughout, because people asked and they wanted to know. And I figured, like, okay, I'm sorry, with Luminary Icon.
Luminary Icon.
Right now. Yeah. You could go to my website, which is www.emceesharoconline.com. You can purchase it directly from me, and I can sign it, or it's on Amazon, or you can get it on Barnes & Noble. You know, but if you download it on Barnes & Noble, it's cheap right now. I got it for $4.99. You can download it. You don't even have to. No, seriously, I'm plugged that in. You don't have to have like you know, you don't have to have an iPod, an iPad, but if you do have those things, you can download it. You can download it to your regular computer, and you don't have to buy the app. The app is free. All you got to do is download it, and you can read it right there. So it's an easy read.
Cool.
It's easy read. And I want people to know the history from me, from my point of view.
That's right.
And you know who I did an interview with, you know, that I was honored.
Right.
You know, that I did it on Sirius Radio, where she came forth and, you know, she was like, look, Sha, you know, I'm there for you. You know, and I did one with Sparky D, where she came from. Now, it go back to what you were saying, Nick, and anybody, you know, trying to battle me. It didn't happen until the 80s, and the first person tried to do it was Sparky D. But I talk about that in the book, you know, and it's crazy, huh? But other than that, you know, I mean, I respect every female that's out there, you know, and I'm not biased to, you know, the way that they come forward, the way that they rap, because I think, you know, hip-hop rap within hip-hop is all about expressing yourself.
Right.
Could y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hip hop, it's all about expressing yourself. So if we all sound alike, then I mean, it wouldn't be worth it.
Nah,
now,
right.
we as consumers have a choice on who we want to choose to listen to and who we don't want to listen to. So if you got radio stations like yours that play hip hop music, you know, old school, new school, whatever, people have that choice.
Right.
You know, and so some people may say when a female rap, you know what, that ain't hip-hop, she ain't rapping, she ain't no good, you know, MC, whatever. I do believe that there is a difference between an MC and a rapper. There is a difference.
I agree, too. What's your definition?
My definition, you know, MC is what it says, master of ceremony. You can be able to...
We were interviewing Sha Rock. She's the original.
It happened.
Yeah. But listen, Sha, we would love to talk to you forever here, and we know because we know you got a lot to share with us. But we gotta move it along. But before you go, what is Sha Rock doing now, and what can we expect from you in the future?
Okay, what could you expect from me is first of all, keep pushing. I'm going to keep pushing until the world recognizes me as a female MC. So I'm going to be on as the first female MC, and my contributions as Funky 4 contributions to hip-hop. That's what I'm pushing first. I'm traveling to different universities. I've been asked by different universities to come. I'm going to Rowan University. That's going to be my first stop in the university. So I'm going around telling the history to the different colleges. Expect the movie. You know, I'm putting everything together, making sure that it come out, but it'll be the story, you know, of my stuff along with the Funky 4+1 based on my mode.
Great. Oh, man, that sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, so you know, with the help of y'all, you know, telling the story and continue telling the story of Sha Rock and the Funky 4, I appreciate it. Y'all don't know how much that means to me. And shouts out to Tampa, Florida, everybody that's listening out there, everybody around the world. Nick, you, Paradox, I love you all.
Baby, you know I got you. You know I got you.
You know I might have passed you in the hallway in Evander a couple of times. I don't know, man.
Yes.
We'll talk about that on FB or when I see you in May.
I'll see you in Charlie, you gotta come to Miami. We gotta hang out because Ryan.
Hey, peace, Shaw. Thanks for calling.
Bye, guys. Love you. Bye, Tampa.
Thank you. Thank you for calling in.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
All right,
cool. Bye-bye.
Down.